Tonight, you're going to get a story time. This is Redeeming the Time Brothers podcast by Gene Kissinger and Norman Kissinger, two brothers who spent their lives in ministry and raising large families. Our desire is to provide a digital place for those who long belong. And as always, we want to leave a nightlight on. For that nightlight is out of Romans 8:28. It says, and we know that all things work together for good, to them that love God, to them who are the called according to his purpose. In this tremendous verse, we are going to look at just a simple story to illustrate it. I read it some time ago, and I'm passing it along to you. It starts with a phrase over a phone. It said, "It's over, man. My whole life just fell apart because of a stupid typo." Jake had been unemployed for 8 months. His savings was gone. His girlfriend had left him. His dad kept asking when he was going to get his act together. Finally, after dozens of rejection, he landed an interview at his dream company, a prestigious marketing firm downtown. The interview went perfectly. They loved him. The hiring manager shook his hand and said, "Jake, we'd love to have you on the team. Just send over your references and we'll get the paperwork started." Jake was so excited he could barely sleep. This was his breakthrough moment. He carefully typed up his reference list at 11 p.m., double-checking every email address, every phone number, and he hit send. He went to bed feeling like his prayers had finally been answered, but the next morning, his phone rang. It was his potential boss. "Jake, I'm confused. We received your email, but instead of references, you sent us what appears to be a very personal prayer letter addressed to God about your struggles with depression, asking for guidance about your relationships." Jake's heart stopped. In his excitement, he'd accidentally attached the wrong document, a raw, vulnerable prayer journal entry he'd written months earlier during his darkest moments. I'm so sorry," Jake stammered. "That was a mistake. I can send the right document immediately." "Actually, Jake," the voice said slowly, "don't worry about the references right now. Could you come in this afternoon? I'd like to talk to you." Jake was certain he was about to be humiliated and rejected once again. He walked into the office prepared for the worst conversation of his life, but here's what Jake didn't know. The hiring manager, David, had been struggling with his own private battle. His teenage son had been diagnosed with severe depression 3 months earlier, and David felt completely helpless. He'd been praying for wisdom, for understanding, for any sign of how to help his boy. When David read Jake's accidental prayer, his honest wrestling with dark thoughts, his determination to keep fighting, his simple faith that God had a plan, even when he couldn't see it, something clicked. The rest of the story: that afternoon, David didn't offer Jake just any job. He offered him a position heading up their new mental health awareness campaign for a major client, a campaign that would become Jake's special passion. People need to understand that their struggles are not obstacles to God's plan. They're often the very preparation for it. Paul would say, "And he said unto me, my grace is sufficient for thee, for my strength is made perfect in weakness," 2 Corinthians 12:9 says. So sometimes what we call our most embarrassing mistake, God calls our greatest qualification. This is the God in the glitch, where your worst moments become your most powerful ministry, because sometimes God uses our broken send button to send us exactly where we need to go. Mighty Father God, help us to remember that you are not just the God of glory, you're also the God of the glitch. In Jesus' name, amen.